Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amirul Farhan bin Muhammad Isa 2020282472. Today we would like to present about Islamic trade financing, instrument and practice. Uh, this is my content, introduction, objective and research question. Okay, for introduction, trade finance is a process of giving financial support to international trading firms. The assistance can be in form of loan guarantees and other financial instruments used to finance acquisition of product or services, pay cost of shipping, custom, and manage the risk involved with international commerce. The primary purpose of trade finance is to assist business in securing funds necessary to complete transaction and in mitigation the risk associated with that transaction. Trade financing is one of the most essential service provided by Islamic banks, especially for businesses conducting cross-border transaction. There are two types of trade finance: domestic and international. Domestic trade entails the purchase of sale of goods within a country, including retail, warehouse trading. International trade is the country external trade, which means export or import, and it compromises uh, a- as the exchange of goods with other nation. Just like we got some Malaysia is most the is the most largest exporter of palm oil to other country, just like in for India and other European country. Meanwhile, they are banning our palm oil, but China want to buy it. Facilities for Islamic trade finance, including Islamic letters of credit, Islamic uh, Islamic financial accept bills from or Islamic bank guarantee, Islamic shipping guarantee, Islamic export credit and refinancing, and trust receipt. So this is our objective of this case study, to offer finance for commercial transaction based on the Islamic principle. The second one is to circumvent the ban against riba, against interest or riba, and due uncertainty, gharar, in trade finance, to encourage the adoption of ethical and socially responsible corporate practices in trade financing. Okay, this is our research question. How do Islamic trade financing instrument compared to conventional trade financing instrument in terms of cost and accessibility for small and medium-sized enterprises? What are the primary obstacles Islamic banks encounter when offering trade finance services, and how may this obstacle can be overcome? How do the risk sharing and profit sharing concept of Islamic finance impact the structure and performance of trade financing transaction? What what role does Islamic trade finance play in fostering international commerce and economic growth? That's all from me. And the next topic, my friend will continue it. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nur Hisham Nurdin, and I will present about research methodology and literature review, Islamic trade finance, instrument and practice. The first is research methodology. The first is best method for this research include the collection and analysis of non-numerical data such as observation and document analysis, This method for understanding the experiences, views, and motive of trade finance stakeholders. Second, next case study research comprise an in-depth assessment of one or more example in order to comprehend a particular phenomena or subject. Third, this might be helpful for comprehending the specific and intricacies of trade finance transaction and how they are impacted by various circumstances. Next slide is literature review. Yeah. So Sharia is the revealed law of Islam and comprises the whole corpus of ethical and legal laws explicated by fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence. The Quran holy books and the laws drawn from the saying are the two basic sources of Sharia. Next, the effect of Islamic finance, risk sharing and profit sharing principle on the structure and performance of trade financing transaction has been explored by academics. And in terms of structure and risk management, we know different form of Islamic trade finance instrument such as murabah, ijarah, and musyarakah. Next slide is trade finance is an essential instrument for business of all size since it enables them to extend their market and improve their income. According to Aboin 2009, 18 to 19% of global commerce release on some type of trade financing, and consequently the availability to trade finance become a critical factor in determining the flow of international commerce. Literature such as MIT and Weinstein 2011, Cho and Manuva 2012, and Felbermay 2012 cites a lack of trade finance as one of the primary causes of the Great trade collapse. The next is researchers have evaluated how Islamic trade finance tools compare to conventional trade financing instruments in terms of cost, stability, and efficacy for small and medium-sized enterprises. According to studies, Islamic trade finance may be more accessible and less costly for these enterprises, but there are obstacles to overcome. Researchers have examined the primary challenges faced by Islamic banks in providing trade finance service, such as a lack of standardization and harmonization in industry, a lack of experiences, personal and appetite, and restrict access to funding. And thank you.
Okay. Then we proceed to the content of the article. So we elaborate about what is Islamic trade financing. For the purpose of this principle is to encourage ethical and fair business practice and guarantee that all parties participating in transaction are treated fairly and equally. This is Islam. So, what kind of principle that Islam use? Firstly, wakalah agency is referred to relationship in which one party designated to serve as an agent for another party. That's a wakalah. The second one is a murabahah. So under the murabahah contract, the bank sells a product to you and the bank selling its price, which include the primary amount. such as the cost of price of the goods and bank's profit, which you are responsible for paying. So next is kafalah guarantee. It's referred to performance of contract or financial guarantee provided by one party to relieve the obligation of a third party in the event of the default. And the third one is buy dine debt trading. This contract pertains to the sale of your trade debts and trade receivable resulting from trade related activities. You will sell your trade debts and receivable at a discount to bank. So that's the point. And the fifth, ujrah, which means fee. It's referred to commission or fee charged by bank for service, which means bank bank will charge some money as a service. Then it's related about Islamic letter of credit. Then what is ILC? It's a written undertaking given by the Islamic bank to seller at the request on instruction of the buyer to pay stated sum of money aside and determinable future date within prescribed time limit against specific document. You must comply the terms, condition and Islamic issues ILC under a variety Sharia contract, including wakalah, musyarakah, murabahah, and so on. So we go to the first one, ILC wakalah. What is ILC wakalah? Is the customer inform the Islamic bank of the ILC requirement, request Islamic bank to provide him the facility. And then the Islamic bank may require to customer to place deposit for the full amount of purchase price, which the Islamic bank accepts under the principle of wadi'ah yadhamanah. Then the Islamic bank establish the ILC and pay the proceed to negotiating bank, utilize the customer deposit and subsequently release the document to the customer. And then bank, the negotiation with bank claims reimbursement from the Islamic bank. The Islamic bank charge the customer fees, commission for its service under the principle of al-jur' fee, ujrah fee, based on the wakalah principle. Next, we go to ILC musyarakah. The customer informs Islamic of ILC requirement and negotiate the term of musyarakah financing for his requirement. And then the customer place with the Islamic bank deposit for his share or cost of goods to be purchased and imported per musyarakah agreement. Musyarakah, which means sharing, which the Islamic bank accept under the principle of wadi'ah yadhamanah. The Islamic bank established the ILC and pay the proceed to the negotiating bank, utilize the customer deposit on share financing and subsequently release the document to the customer. The customer take position, goods disposed and the manner agreed. The Islamic bank customer share the profit from the venture the provided in agreement, which means we look the first agreement we made with user. And then ILC murabahah. ILC murabahah is the customer inform the bank of ILC requirement. He requests the Islamic bank to purchase or import the goods, indicating that he would be willing to purchase goods from the Islamic bank upon the negotiation of the ILC using principle of murabahah. And then the Islamic banks appoint to the customer as its agent to purchase the required goods on behalf, and then Islamic bank is the ILC to pay the proceed the negotiating bank utilizing its own funds. The Islamic bank sells good to customers, sell price comprising its cost and profit margin under the principle murabahah for the settlement on different basis. So we see what kind of different ILC wakalah, musyarakat and murabahah. Okay, then we go to conclusion. So the conclusion is Islamic trade is tools that practice provide a distinct alternative to conventional trade financing based on Sharia compliance standards. And as mentioned, we have SC, Suruhanjaya Security. And then these tools are intended to encourage ethical and fair business practices and guarantee that all participants to transaction are treated fairly and equally. And also, literature suggests that Islamic trade financing can be more accessible and less expensive for small and medium-sized enterprise. But there are obstacles to overcome before this potentially can be fully realized, such as a lack of standardization and harmonization in the industry, and also a lack of experience, personnel, and expertise, and restricted access to funding. That's all from us. Okay, thank you.